For decades, Alzheimer's disease has been treated like a cruel inevitability, an unfortunate byproduct of bad genes or simply living too long. But that narrative is rapidly unraveling. Emerging research is now pointing to a far more unsettling and actionable truth. Alzheimer's may not just be a disease of age or inheritance, but a preventable environmental condition. And at the center of this shift is one of modern life's most inescapable features: air pollution. It sounds almost conspiratorial, but the data keeps mounting. Epidemiological studies from across the globe have found that people living in areas with high levels of fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, and O2, ozone, and even traffic noise experience significantly higher rates of cognitive decline, brain shrinkage, and dementia diagnoses, including Alzheimer's. The association holds even after accounting for age, income, education, smoking, and other lifestyle factors. And it's not just a correlation of convenience. When researchers zoom in on the brains of people who lived in polluted areas, they find eerily consistent patterns: elevated inflammation, more beta-amyloid plaques, more tau tangles, and faster loss of gray matter in memory-critical areas like the hippocampus. These aren't minor changes. We're talking about visible structural brain degeneration occurring in people without the classic Alzheimer's genes like APOE4. Which begs the question, what if Alzheimer's isn't just in your DNA, but in the air you breathe? Mechanistically, the pathway from exhaust pipe to memory loss is frighteningly clear. Fine and ultrafine particles penetrate deep into the lungs, cross into the bloodstream, and can even enter the brain directly through the olfactory nerve. Once there, they activate microglial cells, the brain's immune defenders, which, when chronically triggered, begin to release pro-inflammatory cytokines. Over time, this low-grade inflammation corrodes neural tissue, disrupts synapses, and accelerates the buildup of amyloid proteins. It's like Alzheimer's on fast-forward, initiated not by aging, but by an immune system in overdrive thanks to daily toxic exposure. What's even more troubling is how early this damage starts. Studies have detected Alzheimer's-like pathology in the brains of children growing up in Mexico City, a region notorious for its smog. These kids showed cognitive delays, attention deficits, and even signs of tau accumulation by adolescence. Their brains were aging before they even hit adulthood. And in older adults, living near highways or industrial zones correlates with earlier and more severe memory loss. The closer you live to the source of pollution, the higher your risk, suggesting this isn't just background noise in the aging process. It's an accelerant. None of this means genetics are irrelevant, but genes may only load the gun. Pollution pulls the trigger, sometimes over decades. Think of it this way. A person born with Alzheimer's susceptibility might have developed the disease at 85 under clean air conditions. But if they spend 30 years commuting through smog, living near a factory, or breathing in fine dust from construction zones, they may experience noticeable decline by 65 or earlier. Pollution doesn't just add risk. It shifts the entire timeline forward. And let's be clear, this isn't just a personal health issue. It's a public health emergency. Alzheimer's is already a leading cause of death and disability worldwide, and cases are projected to triple by 2050. If air pollution is even partially responsible, then failing to act is a kind of civic negligence. We've engineered our cities, highways, and industries in ways that systematically erode brain function. We're not just aging, we're being aged, chemically and silently, by the very environments we live in. Even the economic implications are staggering. Alzheimer's already costs billions in caregiving, lost productivity, and healthcare. If a significant slice of that burden is preventable through environmental policy, stricter emission standards, green urban planning, cleaner public transport, then ignoring that fact is as irrational as letting leads stay in gasoline. And remember, the same air quality improvements that protect brains also reduce heart disease, cancer, asthma, and premature birth. Cleaner air is arguably the cheapest, broadest-spectrum medicine humanity has ever ignored. So, is Alzheimer's entirely preventable? Probably not. But is a large portion of it environmentally driven and therefore modifiable? Increasingly, the answer looks like yes. We've spent decades hunting for miracle drugs, decoding genetic risk factors, and optimizing brain training apps, while largely ignoring the elephant in the room, which turns out to be invisible and inhaled. This isn't just a scientific pivot. It's a philosophical one. If Alzheimer's is partly a consequence of the air we breathe, then we don't just need better medicine, we need better infrastructure. Prevention may look less like a pill and more like a zoning law. And that means the next great breakthrough in dementia care might not come from a lab, but from a bus line, a forest, or a factory retrofit. Because sometimes protecting your brain has nothing to do with Sudoku and everything to do with where the wind blows.